Hey team! I know it's been a while and it's especially been a moment since I have filmed or published a Wellness Wednesday post. I'm happy to be back, happy to be talking about wellness, especially because I have a lot to share. I have had some major life breakthroughs. For those of you who are new here, my name is Estrella Daniela. I am an aspiring travel vlogger who also is very much interested in building wellness and discovering what wholeness can look like in my own life. So it's like a travel wellness kind of duo. But if you're not into the wellness component, you're welcome to check out my cooking travel videos. And if you're not into traveling, I have more wellness videos to share with you, so you can check those out. You may have noticed I'm in a new space. I just moved, so I have been preoccupied the weeks moving up to the move. I'm trying to balance between maintaining presence and documentation. It's not really my natural tendency to go into like vlogging. That's all to say, this is what you're getting, a post-experience recap. But what am I even talking about? Stay tuned. So today I am going to share a little bit about my experience participating in a self-love challenge through Babes of Wellness. Babes of Wellness is a gym in LA that I discovered, I think through BuzzFeed, through like the Me Too channel. And I was super intrigued because they seem to provide not only like workouts, they also coupled that with, mindfulness and meditation, journaling, and I thought that was a really special and unique way of approaching exercise. So Kat, the founder of the gym and also the trainer who is kind of guiding you through this journey, she set up a 6-week self-love challenge to include 5 to 6 days of workouts and also daily meditations, daily journal prompts. What attracted me to this challenge specifically was that the focus wasn't about weight loss or like changes in your body. It was more just about finding the love and joy in exercise and also just like kind of delving into what does self-love look like for you. So there is a platform where all participants are part of like a group. It's not a group, it's a group. You can post to the group forum and talk about, what came up for you or ask questions, share recipes. In the first challenge that I did with Babes of Wellness in the summer, I think what stood out to me the most was the community element. I realized that I have only ever worked out in very white spaces. I found that I really appreciated, this is like mostly Latinx, folks who are participating in this Babes of Wellness challenge. So it was really unique and special, I think, to be in that kind of a community. So I was, particularly excited about being a part of this community again. So physically, the emphasis is on working out. Days varied from like focusing on legs and glutes to focusing on arms and chest. There were some running days. I loved it. I felt super strong. I loved that there was a variety in what we were doing day to day. Something I struggled with was not having access to some of the equipment. At the start of the challenge, Kat had mentioned that like you can have weights or like resistance bands or whatever, but like generally you should be fine. If you don't have weights, you can use like books or water bottles. I really should have just bought weights. I didn't. And that is I think something that in the future I will definitely have weights, because there were some days where like I was trying to use books, but the thing is like heavy books, you're like gripping them like this, and it's just like really uncomfortable in your hand. I didn't even feel like I was really targeting the areas in my arms that I was meant to be targeting in that workout. I was more just like feeling my grip just like uncomfortably, it was just not nice. I would find that some days I actually would just, if it was very like heavy on the weights and like I didn't find a way to adjust it, I would have to like find a different arm workout for the day. My absolute favorite workouts were the ones that you would be competing against yourself. So there were a couple. There's one that's every minute on the minute. So she would give you like 5 or 6 workouts. So if I have 12 burpees I need to do, I only have a minute to do them. So if I can get 12 burpees done in 30 seconds, then great. I have 30 seconds of rest I will get to take advantage of before I move on to the next workout. If it takes me a minute to do 12 burpees, then as soon as I finish that 12th burpee, I need to go straight into the next workout. And I just thought it was fun. I love those kind of like fast-paced challenges, and I'm not a competitive person, but it was just kind of like a fun, it was almost like a game. I did notice changes in my body. I felt a lot stronger. One of the workouts, it was a every minute on the minute workout. I crushed it. I was like, wow, I am so strong. I was doing burpees like they were nothing, and I hate burpees. Everybody hates burpees. Every single workout I approached as almost like an opportunity to explore, to feel playful. I don't weigh myself. I didn't take any measurements. I didn't even take like before and after pictures, but I did put on a pair of jean shorts that I was not able to wear last summer, and they fit. So that's exciting. But you know, your body changes day to day. I think the day I put them on was like a particularly skinny day. I was like, wow, I'm a skinny woman. But like today, if I were to put those jean shorts on, like, maybe a little bit tight. You know, your body fluctuates and it's fine. Mentally, I was very motivated throughout the whole challenge. It was 6 weeks. I realized that I have a hard time not fulfilling goals that I set for myself. I really struggled with giving my body permission to rest because I was supposed to be doing this challenge, and I didn't feel good about myself unless I was coming through on this promise I made to myself and doing these workouts that brought me a lot of joy. But it was interesting because the whole theme of the challenge was self-love, and self-love is, for me, honoring your body and your mind and like what it's telling you. Of all the challenges and all the spaces where I should take a break, like this is definitely the one, because my body was not in it and my mind was not in it, and I needed to rest. And that was a practice of self-love for my body, for my mental wellness. I guess emotionally, I had some serious breakthrough moments. The first kind of moment I had, I was doing like wall sits. Is that what they're called? I was feeling really goofy and was talking to myself, as I usually do, and was in this wall sit and was like, you can do this, like you have a minute, got this, like you were made for this moment, like saying all this stuff to myself to like hype myself up. I started off like, everything in your life has like led you to this moment right now. But then I kind of went like, you know, your ancestors and like they envisioned this moment for you right now. And like, I went on this whole thing about like ancestry and like to myself in my room alone on the side of this wall. It was very funny, but also kind of like, oh wait, yeah, I mean, ancestry is a big part of my spirituality. And a lot of this journey in understanding self-love is also a practice in healing intergenerationally. I'm in this point in my life where I'm looking for tools to be the strongest version of myself so that I can heal from not only my traumas, but, you know, the different intergenerational trauma that has compounded in my life. Not only am I healing from these pasts, I am also creating a healing road for any future generations to come, because just as that trauma can be passed from generation to generation, so too can your healing and the lessons you've learned. But before I get to this big old breakthrough I had, well, I want to share what self-love means to me. I never really thought about it, and everyone talks about self-love, but I realized like, what even is that? This is my journal. Self-love is honoring the messages of my body, setting and respecting boundaries, celebrating my efforts and accomplishments, practicing forgiveness towards myself, connecting body and mind through the breath, getting a restful sleep, knowing when to quit or ask for support, taking space to reflect, and also, this was the biggest one, taking accountability for my wellness. I have been on this road towards wellness since September of last year. It has mostly looked like adjusting my diet, addressing my gut health, which has opened doors to my mental and emotional health as well. it's a hard journey. For me, self-love is making that hard decision. Okay, this is the big breakthrough. This was the thing that was like, whoa, I just, like, everything in this challenge has aligned for me, and like, this is what I came here to discover. Kat gave us a journal prompt to write about why we are celebrated and then why we are beautiful. I wanted to put a picture of myself to go with these two prompts. And the picture I found that I decided to use was me. I think this is like me in the 5th grade. That's me, teeny tiny Estrella. I put this picture and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna like write these reflections to this little girl. Oh my God, it was like the most emotional experience for me. It was more just like interacting with the childhood version of myself that was monumental. And I came to realize that I have been disconnected from the child version of myself. Like, I really love the inner child and I think that I'm playful and curious, but that's not really the same as feeling connected to the child that I once was. I see myself as like me, an adult in the present, and then a whole other person is me as a child. Does that make sense? Even though we have a shared history, we are not the same person. I would see the childish version of myself, aka like this little girl, when I was doing my workouts, when I would meditate, and I would just start to cry. And I think it was mostly because I felt really guilty for being where I'm at today and for seeking out all these like different health practices and having the strength and the supports to dig into my healing journey, and to know that this little girl didn't have that opportunity, didn't have the resources, didn't have the supports, and instead had to endure the different traumas of my past and the different pains of our past alone. So I shared all of this in the Babes of Wellness group page and was like, by the way, I'm starting to see my inner child and it's freaking me out. And so there was a prompt to write a letter to the younger version of ourselves. It starts out with like, oh my God, like, it's so hard. Everything sucks. Like, you were so broken and everything was so hard for you and I'm so sorry. And then I had this moment of clarity where I realized I need to be giving myself, or like the child version of myself, way more credit than I'm giving this girl, because I was never broken. I, as a child, always believed that I would be successful. I never doubted my capacity. I was really afraid of straying from my dreams, and I was afraid of settling. So I built a personality that was unapologetic and that was bold. I utilized coping mechanisms that worked for me. And all of this was the foundation for who I am today. That personality of being bold and ambitious, it still lives within me. And it was fostered by this little girl who knew that eventually I would get to this point where I would be ready to turn around and face whatever demons I needed to face and heal for the both of us. Do you want to hear the letter? Should I just read the letter? Okay, so, dear younger Estrella, it's hard to know that I am in a place of healing and self-empowerment and that I have the tools to find wholeness while you were left shattered by our pains. Me. Truthfully, I forget we are the same person with a shared history. I see you during my workouts and while meditating. Your presence makes me collapse and I cry in ways I've never experienced. And then this is when I had my like, shut up moment, like, enough. I must give you more credit though. You were never really broken. If you had been, I would not be where I am. I understand now that your resilience, trust, and power set the foundation for me as an adult to thrive. You knew we'd find success and joy. You feared the possibility of falling away from your dreams and cultivated a self that does not apologize or settle for anything less than you deserve. If time is not linear, you saw what was ahead and faced each trauma with grace. You knew we'd get to this point of healing where we could look back and decide how best to move forward. It is okay for me to let things lie in the past where they belong. I acknowledge our past, and that can be enough. You are my partner in life. When I am joyful, powerful, sad, adventurous, loved, angry, overwhelmed, anxious, hopeful, inspired, and playful, you will be there. Thank you for setting the foundation. I've got us from here. After that, I was like, cool, great, I'm done with the challenge. No, obviously I kept going, but yeah, it was some shit. Part of what I struggled with when I acknowledge like, okay, the 10-year-old version of me keeps approaching me. I felt like what I was supposed to do was to start opening these doors that were painful and that I wasn't ready to open. I talked to some of the supports in my life and realized that I don't need to open those doors. I can embrace that they exist and acknowledge that they're there, but I don't need to walk through any kind of pain if I don't want to. It was an incredible experience. I know that there's a self-love challenge going on right now. If I would have posted this a week ago, I would have shared the details so you could sign up, but just keep an eye out for the next one. The Babes of Wellness Instagram page and website are linked below. So part of her challenge, I had no idea that there were gonna be like prize winners in this one. I ended up winning $150 and this t-shirt. It's so cute. Isn't it so cute? And I also got another t-shirt. Isn't that cute? It smells great because she also sent me like these bath bombs and like a mask. I was so surprised and just like so grateful. So that's this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or if you want to talk more about it, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you all around.